So it's been a couple days since I've made a video. I needed to follow that flow. Things weren't flowing for me the past couple days. I actually had a couple queued, but I had to listen to my body, and it needed a really solid break the past couple of days because honestly, I haven't been taking care of my health whatsoever. I've been eating pizzas a whole bunch and so much bread and gluten, which my body does not agree with whatsoever. So I've been dealing with a lot of fatigue and just really getting off track with everything. So I needed a chance to slow down and get realigned with myself and pick back up. And I don't feel guilty about any of that because I feel like it allowed me to level up. I mean, this morning I woke up late again. Just the fatigue has been so extreme lately. I woke up late again and I thought about a conversation I had with my cousin last night that I was just talking about how shitty my health was, and he was like, you just need to eat better. Why aren't you doing that? But I link money and healthy eating together too much that it just robs me of my money, and that's such a silly thing because when I prioritize myself, I see that money prioritizes me. And yeah, I got up this morning, even though it was late. I didn't feel guilty about it. I got up and I meditated, and even if it wasn't what I wanted to do, I benefited so much from just being diligent in that and just saying, come on, Lauren, like let's get back on track. Like I'm here for you, you know. I just picked up and got going again. So in today's work and effort, I was listening to the Lewis Howes School of Greatness podcast, and it made me put myself in the position of an interviewee. You know, I put myself in this position where I had accomplished so much in my life. I had impacted so many people's lives. I was writing books, I was speaking, I was doing everything that I want to be doing. And now it was time to be recognized for that. So I thought about somebody asking me to be on their show or their podcast or whatever for an interview. And I wanted to do this so that I could really know my values, my mission, and get clear in this, because I asked myself questions that I think a good interviewee or interviewer would ask me. And one of which was, what would you like to leave people with? You know, what kind of message do you want to leave people with? Or, you know, on impact theory, he always asks, how do you want to impact the world? So I asked myself that question, what message do you want people to take away from you? And it was all about trust. And this beautiful message poured out of me, and I wrote it all out, so I'm hoping that I will speak it as articulately and not forget things like I did when I was writing about it. But I want you to trust. Trust so deeply in the ways of the universe. Trust so much that everything is in perfect order, especially when it feels like it's not. Trust the process. Trust that everything that is happening to you is happening for you. You know, somebody's leaving your life in some way, whether it's a death or it's a breakup, it's a friendship ending. Great. Trust so deeply that that person is not meant to be in your life, in your journey, at this part of the journey. And that if they are to come back and they are to serve you again in some way, and you them, that they will show back up. Trust that so much that if somebody is angry at you, you have nothing but unconditional love for them, because they can't hurt you. They're only acting out of the ego that is controlling their mind. Trust so much that when your body needs to rest, you rest. And you feel good knowing that you're still making progress, even if it doesn't feel like it. Trust so much that failure isn't even a word in your dictionary. And what I mean by that, trust so much that any kind of setback you experience in your journey to your successes is actually helping you. It's in trust that we breed resilience, that we breed discipline, we're able to relax. We're able to let go. We're able to get into flow. We're able to experience grace. And we open ourselves up to this amazing journey. It's not fearful of how am I going to be in control of this. It's what amazing opportunity is around the corner now, because literally every single second, whether good or bad, it's only our judgment that changes things. Every single second is benefiting us, our soul, our mission, and our goals in some way. We just have to trust it. We have to look at the bigger picture. And most importantly, you have to trust in yourself. You have to trust in yourself so much that you give yourself space to make mistakes and to keep going. Think of it this way. Think about trust in this way. If somebody asks you to borrow some money and you trust them, you know that at the end of whatever they need to borrow it for, whatever term, they're going to pay you back. You have that trust, so you willingly give them that money and that effort and that time. You're totally cool with it and you're relaxed. You know that everything's great. But if you don't trust them, you're either not going to give them the money at all, or you're going to hesitate, or you're going to just give off this energy of hate towards them, because you're so fearful. You don't trust any of it. And in the end, maybe you're gonna find ways to prove yourself right, and they're not gonna pay you back because you manifested that, or you miss out on a great opportunity because they were going to pay you back even more and give you like extra interest for everything, or because you did that favor for them at one point, down the road they come back and they do so much more for you because they saw that you were there for them at that time. Now, you have to you have to trust your gut in those situations, and you have to really feel it out, and also trust that if you didn't give to them in that situation, that wasn't meant for you to give to them. Somebody else was supposed to give it to them. You have to trust. Trusting just lets go of all of these fears, all of these burdens, okay? Trust that you're never losing anything. But we'll make the universe, okay? We'll make the universe and the world and how all of this stuff works. We'll make that the person asking to borrow your time, your money, your efforts, and they say, "Hey man, can I borrow you for some time? You're gonna have to go through a bunch of confusion, a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty. You're gonna have to take some risks, and you're gonna feel unsettled, And by the way, if you base spirituality, faith, religion, anything with the idea that it's going to lead to certainty, then you're going to be completely disillusioned." And then they say, "But at the end of this, I'm going to give you your dream home. You're going to have millions of dollars. You're going to have all of the healthiest relationships you could ever ask for, just the highest joy in your life. You're going to have your dream home. You're going to get to spend your days feeling completely fulfilled, and you're going to, all of your time is going to be dedicated to things that feed you and your soul, and you're just going to have so much purpose in your life." If you trust that, you're going to say, "Okay, yeah, I trust. You're somebody I trust. I'm going to go through all of that for you because I know at the end you're actually going to give that to me." But if you don't trust, you're going to say no, and you're going to stay small, and you're going to keep playing and just finding more and more ways to not trust the universe because you never took that chance. They've never proven anything to you that it shows up exactly in the way that you ask for it. So trust more. Build up a portfolio of ways that the universe has showed up for you. The only reason it hasn't showed up for you is because you didn't go far enough. You didn't see yourself all the way through. You didn't see your plans all the way through. You didn't trust that everything that was happening to you was happening for you. Even in my photography business, I don't think that that's the end of it. I'm not done with it, but I have another piece of my journey that I have to take care of before I can go back to that. Because I trust completely that everything's going to work out, and I'm following the flow, and I'm trusting myself and my intuition. I don't take things personally because I trust so much that there's a reason. There's a very, very distinct reason that we cannot see with our physical eyes and our perceptions that things are happening. But it's just taking time to point that out to yourself. Consciously make an effort to point that stuff out. That, wow, that happened because of this. You know, like, it's interesting. A lot of people like to, throw shade at people who get pregnant in high school or something. But there were a couple girls from my high school who had babies before they were married, and I hold no judgment towards them. That means, like, nothing to me. But there seemed to be a pattern that, some people would have these really quick failed marriages, or they would have babies, and right after they would have their children, one of their grandparents would die. So it was like an opportunity for their grandparents to see this new person into the world and get to meet them before they said goodbye themselves. And even in the case with, like, marriages, like, their parents passed, there's a reason for everything beyond what these limited egos that live inside of our brains want us to think. And we just have to take a step back and look at things from a soul level and just trust. Just trust that there's a reason for anything that seems bad, anything that seems good. Like, wherever we are, we have to trust that we are secure, that everything is happening for our highest good, that none of it really matters. Trust that if somebody is a jerk to you, well, you're gonna learn something from it. And always pay attention to the lessons and those bigger circumstances. Don't give your power to the people. Don't give your power to the circumstance. Give your power to the lesson and that trust and that bigger picture. Because that's all that matters at the end of the day. And that's so cool. And that's where you unlock this freedom that nobody can ever take away from you. I mean, even when I am frustrated and feel like things are out of my control, like yesterday was a day of that, because I just felt so off track and so like, this is gonna be forever. I could see past that ego in me, and I felt it was like this ego was holographic, and it was just projecting itself into this room that was my soul, and the soul was real, and I could see that was just an illusion, and even though I felt frustrated, even though I felt the urge to blame myself and to be so hard on myself, I didn't, because I could see the reality of my soul, and I felt so calm and so resilient, and so I just trusted that everything was going to play out, and that it was happening for a reason, and that I could see the lessons that it was teaching me. It was teaching me how to structure things, my schedule. It was teaching me how to be diligent, how to be disciplined, which is one of my intentions. I just saw everything for what it really was. And I challenge you to change your perspective in literally any challenge, any frustration, any anger, anything that sets you off and triggers you, anything that isn't going as perfect as this ego inside of you thinks it should be. Challenge it and say, something good is going to come from this. And I choose to see that. Because you will. It may take some time, but trust it. Trust that you are strengthening that muscle. Trust it enough to see it through. Trust yourself enough to see yourself through. You got this. Baby steps.